Hi everybody, this is Ingi from Tarot Ingi, and I am continuing on the Major Arcana journey, spiritual meanings in the Major Arcana cards, and I'm doing them as a pick a card reading, so you can choose between, and these are the three Major Arcana cards for today: Death, Justice. This deck got a bit scratched up because I have used it so much. But that's Justice and Chariot. So 1, 2, or 3, meditate on it, and I will give you the spiritual meaning that if you feel very drawn to one of these cards, it could be the spiritual meaning that you're learning currently in your life. So let's get started, guys. Okay, so death. Death speaks of something that is difficult to accept. It can be something that's happened in the past that you cannot change. It can speak of something that you anticipate to happen in the future that you feel you have no control over. Death is everything we cannot control. Death speaks of healing grief, and it's often grief around something that we feel is way beyond our control. So it can mean feeling a loss, that you feel like you can never get something back, or if you lost someone, you feel you can never get that person back, and you think that it's an end. And also being afraid of life as well, being afraid of getting hurt, to the point where you can get very angry with the world. So when death is spiritual meaning, it speaks of healing grief and coming to terms with the past, and also dealing with some harsher lessons of life, where life gave you a difficult situation to deal with. So when you get the death showing up as a spiritual lesson, you could even be in a death door. It does not mean you're gonna die, but it can mean that maybe you have, maybe you've had a close call in your life, and and maybe you even think about a situation where there was a death door around you, and you realize that you survived that for a reason. And when there is a death door, or when a seeker has been close to a death door, there is a spiritual initiation straight away. Because your brush with death leaves you more intuitive. It's like the veil gets thinner. And you will get some answers to your life and another perspective on your life. And if you've had some deep questions about your childhood, things that happened, you will get those answers. Some could have out-of-body experiences. They can start seeing the spirit world. If you already see the spirit world, this could become even clearer. Maybe some had an afterlife experience, a life between life experience, a past life memory, or memories from childhood that you had locked away. Some could develop themselves as mediums and develop their intuitive abilities way beyond what they thought was possible. And when you're in this initiation, you will be face to face with yourself, with who you truly are. And your spiritual gifts will also be revealed to you. There is a lesson here to keep your spiritual energy strong. And for some, you could actually be a guiding light for souls who have crossed over. So for some people, when they close their eyes, they see people straight away. And these are spirits, these are souls that are most likely souls that have crossed over. They're passing through your aura, and they go through your aura and into the Creator's light. And if this happens to you, you could get very, very tired, because some of them will take some energy from you. And they're trying to also get answers from you. Some doesn't know what has happened to them. So what you can do, you can ask them to go straight to the Creator's light, and they will go. So keep clearing and cleansing your own energetic field. And work with the Creator of all, so that these spirits will go straight to the Creator's light. Creator will take them where they need to go. So it's a lesson here in the death card to keep your own vitality and energy high. Sometimes with the death card, it can become a little bit like the doom and the gloom, because people that are in this initiation often They want to come to terms with reality, the harsher realities of life. So sometimes they start exploring a lot of the darker things in life to try and gain some control over it just by understanding it more. So maybe you are drawn to the darker side of psychology, for example. It's all an attempt to keep oneself safe, trying to see what's out there so that you can stay clear of it. But it's very important for someone in this initiation to keep their own energy field very, very strong, that you don't draw in a lot of energy and then these energies, it can be entities as well, start feeding off your energy and even your fears as well. So doing fear work and some shadow work as well is always good to do when you're in this initiation. But the most important thing is that you keep your own energy strong. And that is the spiritual lesson in the Death card. The next card is the Justice card. And I don't know if you can see clearly because this card has been quite scratched up, but it's a woman who can see through the veil. And behind the scale is a sleeping fairy. It's actually the same fairy that's in the Four of Swords. So it is about protecting something that's innocent and something that's pure. And it can be the seeker's inner child that they're protecting. The way the seeker go about it when it's a Justice card is often that they're trying to make themselves perfect, because they think perfect is the same as impervious. So they think if they're perfect, then no one can hurt them, no one can get under their skin, no one can criticize them in a harsh way. It's about control, actually. So they could seek balance in their life and perfection in an extreme way. So when justice is a spiritual lesson, it's actually there to help the seeker relax a little bit, to see the truth of a situation so they can let go of a limiting program that is actually jeopardizing them in some way. And it could be that the seeker believed in some very limited things that kept them stuck in a pattern that ended up hurting them in some way. And with the Justice card, which is a very karmic card, and it does speak of the laws of the sixth plane, the seeker will have to see the truth of a situation. Maybe they bought into the liars. Maybe they got swept away by propaganda and manipulations. But on a deep psychological level, they will be presented with the truth of a situation. But with the Justice card, it often comes with discipline. So that means that it's often adapting a lifestyle where you are disciplined. So it's especially speak of the mind being disciplined. It means you don't let yourself go. You don't let yourself go all the way to the point where your life has spiraled completely out of control. At some point, you will stop yourself. You will have a boundary. You will say, I'm not going to go any further now because this is leading me astray. Justice card speaks of when we have a value system that keeps our emotions also in check. We're not going to spiral out of control emotionally because we have these checks and balances in place within ourselves. The Justice initiation will help you set up this system within yourself so that your life is actually safeguarded. And how many times have we seen people that have to pay for the rest of their lives for something that they did because they were upset in the moment? And with the Justice, it's actually there to help the seekers set themselves up emotionally to be strong enough so they don't spiral out of control in that way. And that they no longer are a soft target for manipulative behavior, for abusive behavior. They actually become a hard target. So instead of being the first person that get picked on, they become the last person. And some people will also be so empowered that they can protect others as well, which is why the fairy is in this card, because it speaks of being able to protect also the people in your life. The best protection you can give someone is to help them see the truth about why things are happening the way they're happening. With the Justice, it's often also a completion of lessons. And the seeker will be able to move towards what truly matters in their lives. There is a lessening in drama rather than an increase in drama. If your life is becoming more and more dramatic, then ask the Creator to bring you back to yourself, to center yourself, and to put you on the path that is truly fulfilling for you. And ask also to have some very healthy activities that gives you joy in life, that will help you stay balanced and help you also stay disciplined, because discipline is a very powerful virtue to have in the justice initiation. But your boundaries with the outside world will be very, very strong. And with those boundaries, they are boundaries that will help you grow, because with those boundaries there will be time spared and a lot of accidents avoided, and what is left for you is to live a truly blessed life. And that is the spiritual meaning in justice. The third card is the Chariot card. The Chariot speaks of a lesson in the seeker's life where they learn to love and appreciate themselves, and it often shows up through a relationship. It doesn't have to be always romantic, but it's often a mirroring relationship that shows them a situation from their past. And it could be it could have been an unhealthy power dynamic that the seeker felt they couldn't really survive as a child. And they would have to put up so many boundaries and barriers between them and other people that it was very hard then for people to see who they truly are. But through this mirroring relationship, as an adult, they're able to survive unhealthy, often, power dynamic. And by understanding it and surviving it and being equipped to deal with it as an adult, they are letting go of a lot of the hard shell that they leave behind. And this heals the seeker on an emotional level. The seeker also could be very ambitious to prove themselves. They want to prove their worth through showing off what they can do. So building on skills and refining one's talents brings the seeker a lot of satisfaction. This card is showing the seeker how strong they are and that they're self-reliant. So if they had issues with codependency, they're often releasing a lot of their codependency when this card is a spiritual lesson. A situation that looked maybe dire could quickly be turned around for the better. One of the main lessons in this card is to be self-made, to be in situations that make them better, and to be very discerning about the company they keep. So if a situation is toxic, your spiritual team will quickly remove you from that situation and onto something better. So even if you have to live through a mirroring experience to heal an unhealthy power dynamic, it's very rare that it's a long situation when it's in the Chariot. It's often very quick, and it's something that you will learn a lot from in the years to follow, even though it was a very quick and short-lived situation. So there could be very sudden changes in your life when this card speaks of spiritual lessons. And for some, there's often a very karmic connection to a specific place in the world that you will be traveling to. And this place will also shape you and help you become the self-made person that you were meant to be as well. So for a lot of people, they will learn from a place as well as from people. And a lot of what you will experience, it is destiny of the soul, but it's like you have to be in certain places at certain times. It's very, very karmic when this card is showing up. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed these Major Arcana lessons, pick a card readings, because writing about the Major Arcana cards in this way is helping me understand the world a little bit better, and why the things are happening that are happening. On an individual level, we have so many opportunities to free ourselves, to reduce the shackles that society have on us. Collectively, there's no chance. But individually, we do have opportunities for those who choose to do so. So, guys, I hope you continue to stay strong on your journey. Bye, guys.